There are a lot of things when it comes to actually losing fat you have to take care of, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can lose 5 kilograms or more fat from your body using 4 things. My name is Hubert, I'm a personal trainer, and today I'm going to show you. We have 4 things. First of all, calories. When it comes to calories, we have to calculate how many calories you eat per day. You should eat per day in order to maintain your weight. In my case, that is 2,700 calories. The calculator said it's 2,500. It depends on your activity level. I just put it small activity, but in my life, it's something in between. In order to calculate that, you just put your age, height, weight, and activity level. This is easy to do, of course. However, there's this one thing I have to tell you. Most people, maybe that's you as well, and I don't want to judge anyone, but most people are giving the activity level too high. You want to give yourself very accurate thing. So first of all, if you think you are between light and moderate, I would choose the light activity level. Also, if you have any step calculator, that is helpful and you should use that for sure. And I would say if you're doing 10,000 steps per day and you're training 3 times per week, I would say this is around moderate to active level of activity. When it comes to very active and extra active, this is basically for athletes. If you're making money through the sport, you're training 2 times per week, I would say this is 2 times per day, 2 times per day. This is reasonable to choose. However, if you are non-athlete and training 3-4 times per week, I would still go with moderate to light. You can always adjust the thing, but I would say extra active, very active can give you too much calories in the beginning. So I would choose light or moderate, something like this. When we're gonna calculate that, that's what gonna come. My maintain weight is around 2,700, so the number is kind of accurate. And now we have all those numbers, and what we want to do is to understand another point. So we have calories. In order to actually lose fat, you have to be in calorie deficit. I know you probably had that so many times from TikTok, Instagram, all of this. How this looks like. So for example, my 2,700 will give me I'm gonna maintain weight with that many calories. When we're gonna delete from that, we're gonna take out 300 or 400 or 500 calories, it's gonna mean that I'm gonna lose fat, and it's gonna be around this number. Okay, 300, 400, 500, that's the number I'm gonna use, because most cases you don't want to go more than 20% of the to lose fat, because there are so many downsides when it comes to losing fat with that big deficit. First of all, you have to make sure you can maintain that deficit. If you cannot maintain the deficit, nothing will be possible. Example, if you wanna learn playing on the guitar and you cannot spend 3 hours per day to learn on the guitar, but you're gonna force yourself to do it, it's possible for you to give up on the guitar. However, if you for sure have 31 hour per day to learn it, then stick with that. That's some, of course, things which this will not be appropriate definition. However, when it comes to our body, you probably are not ready to have that big deficit. And nobody is. It's not. You have to understand that if you're really obese, then of course losing fat is beneficial for your body. But going more and more down, you will have the kind of barrier, because your body don't want to actually lose so much fat, because fat helps you be safe, if that makes sense. However, for sure, 300, 400, 500 calorie of deficit will not make you that much harm or anything. It will be very kind of easy process for you to digest. Nothing gonna be that difficult. Another point is macronutrients, which is carbs, fat, and protein. So when it comes to protein, I'm gonna talk about protein first. So protein, give me a sec. Protein has something like a thermic effect, meaning 20 to 30% of protein is kind of you're using these calories from protein to digest the protein, if that makes sense. So 100 calories of protein is really 70 calories. So for example, if you, another point before I'm gonna talk about this, protein is really filling. If you're gonna eat 100 grams of chicken or 100 grams of fries, I'm 100% sure that after eating a chicken, you will be much more fulfilled with that food than with any other thing. So protein is really filling, and that's your biggest friend when it comes to losing fat. When it comes to carbs and fats, the point is this. I would say you have to have around. Okay, so when it comes to fats and protein, this is the amount of this is the number you have to choose from. So for example, 1.6 to 2.4 per kilogram of body weight, fats 0.7 to 1.5 fat. Meaning, if you're a person who is 80 kilogram, weigh 80 kilograms, then you want to multiply that by 1.6 or 2.4. I would say you can do 2.0, or you can simply height in centimeters equals protein daily. That's really simple, and it's really simple for you to understand, and that's how many protein around you should aim for. When it comes to weight training, this is probably the number fine for you. If you don't train in the gym, it's still okay to have a lot of protein, because protein, like I just said, is really filling and gives you timing effect, so that's nice. When it comes to fats, the same kind of thing, yeah? 80 kilograms equals, let's say, I'm gonna make sure it's gonna be easy for me to calculate that. 80 grams fats per day. Fats doesn't make you fat. Having too much calories makes you fat. This is what I want to point out. Fats, healthy fats for sure, like omega-3, which you can supplement. Also, pumpkin seeds, almonds, that's healthy fats which you want to make sure you're gonna add to your diet. When it comes to carbs, that's the rest amount. So the rest amount of calories you're gonna put into carbs. Carbs have 4 calories per 1 gram, meaning the rest calories just gonna put into carbs. For example, in my case, I'm bulking, kind of. So 300 calories, I have around 180 calories, 180 grams of protein, 100 grams of fats, and the rest is carbs. That's how this looks like. But this is for bulking, okay? You don't need that for now. Another point is nutrition app. So many of you don't like to count calories. However, I would say this. When it comes to counting calories, then you will know how many calories have something. So if you're gonna calculate 100 grams of rice, then you know 100 grams of rice have 350 calories, and then you can quit the app after like 6 months or less than that. When you're gonna understand the calories, you don't need to recalculate that food anymore, and it's gonna be fine for you to not do it. Okay, this is the thing I did. So thermic effect of macronutrients, which is 20-30%, carbs have 10, fats have around 5. Now let's go to the app and I'm gonna show you the process. Okay, so you have this, yeah? You have the whole app on your phone. I'm using MyFitnessPal. Doesn't really matter which one you're gonna use, just make sure that the calories inside this app are accurate, because you might have rice which is cooked or uncooked. Basically every meal you wait before you're gonna cook it. So rice, 100 grams of rice is basically uncooked, 350 calories, and we know everything, okay? We're gonna put how many calories we need here. You can do this by typing whatever you want. You're gonna put the amount of protein you just calculate, and then you can add food to your diet. So for example, eggs. You're just gonna put eggs. You have 1 egg. Let's say we're gonna eat 4 for breakfast, and we have 4 eggs. Protein, everything is fine, okay? That's what you wanna understand. That's what you wanna look around in the app. I don't think you need premium if you want to buy it, but I think you just don't really need that much of service. And basically that's that. One point which I want to make sure you can understand, and that's the macronutrients thing. So first of all, there's something like IG index. Very quickly I'm going to show you how this looks like. If you're going to eat very high sugar meal without protein, without fats, and without something that will stop this food to digest, example fiber. So what's gonna happen? Take this. How to do this? Okay. So for example, when you're gonna eat something high sugar, your blood sugar goes very quickly up and really quickly down. When you're gonna eat something with fiber and fats, it slowly goes up and slowly goes down. Meaning the reason you feel like you feel after eating a meal is because probably there are low amount of protein and low amount of healthy fats inside that food. So in order for you to make sure you're gonna be fulfilled with the food, you have to eat around 25 to 30 grams for a meal that has protein in it. Also, fats also help you slower the digestion process, meaning you will be satisfied with food for longer. And that's basically it. If you need any help, just can type me on Instagram or something, and I hope this helps you out when it comes to losing fat.